And when it comes to foreshadowing, and the example I saw was that an event in World War II, that death, they say, if you look back, foreshadows World War II.
Yeah.
You said World War II twice.
Planned by anything.
Yeah, I know, but
Excuse me, sir.
did you understand what I said by context and the different definitions?
Well,
We weren't talking about foreshadowing in real life. We were talking about it as
what's
a
the
literary
difference?
device.
It's the same word.
No, there is a difference because
Oops, sorry.
foreshadowing.
Let's say I made up that
The
whole
way-
entire thing. Let's say that
I know-
whole entire historical
Well,
event was made
it
up.
wasn't because it's World War One.
I'm making
But-
it a hypothetical
Listen,
statement.
wait, stop. We were not talking about foreshadowing in real life. We were talking about it as a specific literary device used by authors. We weren't talking about real life.
Isn't God an author then? His
Okay,
story.
okay,
That's
really,
the point.
really?
No, look. Here's the thing.
Really?
You're saying that real life can't be written down, right?
Oh my god.
That an element in any sort of circumstance is
you're just
separate
being
from.
contrarian
No,
right
look,
now.
look. You're saying this. You are literally saying that just because it happened in real life, that it can't. That it's not the same as the foreshadowing that we get from reading. What about historical fiction? What about normal fiction? What about just history we read in the books?
Jordan,
it's all written word.
The word foreshadowing, the first definition is a literary
Can I
device.
pick it up? That's the first definition. There's several
That's the
more.
definition we're talking about. We're not talking about the one that you used an example of with World War
But
One.
in its bare basics,
You
it's
can't
something.
turn around.
It is something that instigates another thing. It doesn't have to be the author's intent, even if it's literary or normal. To say that it's only this or only that, that's wrong to use for any kind of word. I'm
Okay.
saying foreshadowing when it comes
I
to
got that.
anything, especially
Foreshadowing as a literary device,
Oh, awesome.
saying that a literary device in itself implies that it is something used by the person using the device.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, it's not
Ah.
by accident. They do it on purpose. It's
Last
a
time it
device that is used.
This time we're gonna make sure it saves.
A literary device.
We got
Foreshadowing,
pick up
anyway.
It works.
But it
That's
doesn't
all
mean-
I'm saying.
well, it
That's
doesn't-
all I'm saying. Is that wrong?
No, it's not.
Okay, that's
It's
all
just
I'm
that
saying.
I don't want you to be stuck in this. That it's only literary, and that the
I'm-
one that's look.
Vaughn, did I
it's-
say
they're,
that?
they're maybe different, but they're not different at all. When it comes to foreshadowing in one instance or another, it doesn't. Yes, you could say it's all planned, but sometimes it's not.
Hey, any other time I would disagree with David, but David's not saying any of that. So David is right. And you're just as right as David is.
When you're playing any other game, like any say this game has something that foreshadows something in another game.
Nah, more monsters.
That
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm playing the damn game. What are you doing?
Are you recording?
Yeah,
Why are you recording?
cause I'm trying to play the damn game.
But wait, do you have to...
Yep, everything's going.
Why?
I'm playing the game, and these monsters are fucking my nerves.
I thought you wanted Jordan... We
I
let
know.
Jordan do it.
I know Jordan is gonna play.
But you're ruining it for him.
Nah, Jordan's not even paying attention. Oh well, that's no. Damn controls. Let me out.
I mean, the example that I gave before when I said about
All she is his legs. What?
Superstar Saga's last event, foreshadowing for the third game, that makes sense because it's not foretelling anything. It wasn't specifically planned. If it was planned, that's foretelling. That's saying we're going to do this.
Oh wait, what'd you say?
It's not specifically.
Yeah, but you can't say that. You didn't know that they were gonna do that. You didn't know
No
that was a
one
plan.
did, but that comes with
They
any
did.
foreshadowing.
But that's not foreshadowing if no one knows. You just proved yourself. You just fucked yourself.
Look, foreshadowing doesn't to the reader or anyone who's interpreting.
Well, now it's to the reader.
Okay, we'll say reader, we'll say watcher, we'll say whatever person's
Do you have-
interpretation.
Oh wait, never mind.
What you need to charge your phone?
I got it, yeah.
Foreshadowing, unless you realize it is not.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've ever really heard of
I got hand bullets.
accidental foreshadowing.
Yeah, that's not a
It
thing.
happens all the time.
When?
Then it's not foreshadowing. It's
I've
just
done it before.
You've done it, but you're not a.
I've read it before and learned
okay,
stuff.
okay. If
I got hand bullets.
here. If
What the fuck are hand bullets?
if you happen to see
I'm fucked. I'm fucked right now.
Okay, let's see. What am I? What was I
fuck.
saying just now?
You know, I'm so tired. I'm cursing. I'm angry. I want to play Silent Hills. I want to be Norman Reedus. Somebody give me a crossbow.
If you happen to see something
See, I get better when I'm not. Oh God!
that
I
corresponds,
saw. Oh God!
that corresponds with something later on in the story
Ah!
that wasn't put there on purpose, then it
Move!
wasn't foreshadowing. It was a coincidence.
A coincidence.
A coincidence. That's
Oh,
what you're putting
I'm
it up
fucked.
to.
Yep.
Bitch,
If
move.
you say it
Fuck you.
wasn't intended by the author, then it's a coincidence.
Turn around. Oh, fuck her. Is she dead? Is it dead? Am I dead? Okay. Thank God this doesn't break. Don't you do it. Back the fuck up.
Let me see.
There's somebody behind me.
Yeah.
Ah, you bitch!
All right, let's take this in another example.
Move! Fuck him!
In an isolated incident, say
Ah.
a single story in a single
Oh, I'm
book.
fucked!
Okay, a single book, and it has no other outside sources or anything else, and it's a single book. Okay,
A single book.
a single book. Now, as you're reading the
Did
beginning,
it do anything?
it says a bunch of details that may or may not mean anything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I used help drink. How did I turn around? What is going on?
It aims for you automatically.
That's some old bullshit. Well, I mean, that's
Well,
not-
it helps.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
Now, when you read further on,
I want to get out!
Now, when you read further on in the story, you see a lot of those details reemerge.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Now, by reading it on your own, without knowing the author, without knowing their
Ouch.
intent exactly, would you call any of that foreshadowing?
Yeah. Because
But what if it wasn't the author's intent? They just decided to use
Suck
it.
it, bitch.
then the author has an amazing,
It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Name something!
an amazing
Bleach.
volume of luck. up his
Bleach.
sleeve.
How is bleach done that way? Ah, that's gross.
Constantly uses as it goes further along in the story, especially this last arc, takes all the small stuff that you
Oh,
wouldn't
you're still
expect,
alive.
even
Yeah,
though-
yeah.
And he makes it into something bigger, and that in itself is foreshadowing. Because when you look back, you're like, oh, he put that in early on.
But that doesn't mean anything. That just means he just got lucky.
Okay, that's
He
one
had a
example.
brilliant stroke of luck,
Yeah.
and he realized what he could do.
Fuck
It
off.
happens all the time.
But that's not
For anything you
foreshadowing.
make- no,
They do it on purpose.
How do you stomp again?
An
that-
author,
do
an
it on
author,
purpose.
an author writing a book in itself is on purpose.
Fuck
It's
him.
not him just shitting out
Fuck him.
letters onto pages.
That's happened too. Trail of thought.
I love that.
It was a trail
Can I
or
use
train
that?
of thought
Yeah, you
books.
can use that.
I'm shitting out. Fuck my mom.
Trailer train of thought books happen like that all the time, when it just makes no sense or makes
I
some
forgot to
sense.
Well, then I
throughout.
don't think you'll find too much foreshadowing in those books, will you?
God
Sometimes you
damn
will.
it.
Sometimes you will. Sometimes a person
Then
will
it's a coincidence.
remember something that they've written
I
a
don't-
few chapters back and use it for something bigger, just because they remembered it. I do that all the time.
I think I
didn't plan
probably
it.
should have pushed load.
I just think, oh wait, I said this
Oh,
early
no, this
on
is fine.
because I remember basically every word that I've written in a previous book.
Fuck.
So I decide I can just use this later on, and then thus that instance beforehand becomes foreshadowing.
No,
Because
you
I
can't go back and
wanted
call
to
it
be.
foreshadowing. What? You can.
Why not? Because I didn't
That's
plan
not-
it. I
yes.
just did at that point at the end.
No, you didn't. That's not planning. You can't plan something after it's finished. That doesn't make any sense. You cannot plan something after it's finished.
Writers do it all the time.
No.
No, they don't.
Yes,
They're
they do.
time travelers.
Yeah, you can't.
No,
You,
look.
you cannot go. You cannot plan something after it's finished. If it's planned beforehand. I plan to go to the beach this summer with Jacob. When we get there, that doesn't mean I foreshadow going to the beach with Jacob. That means I'm planning to do it. That's two different words.
That's different, yes. But
That's
say-
what you just said. That's
No,
literally what you just said. Is it not?
Mm.
Is it not?
No, I wasn't.
Well, that's different because you planned it. I'm saying because that's
Actually, that could be
that's a-
foreshadowing
that's a
'cause I really
planned-
do plan to go
that's
to
a
the beach with
planned
Jacob.
Look, that's a planned instance from the beginning. I'm saying of something that was planned later.
That you
I'm saying
can't.
something
That's not.
that-
That's not
Yes,
foreshadowing.
No, it can be. It can
That
be.
doesn't make any
Oh, look,
sense.
say something like, and you don't mean anything of it. Look, let's say you mean something of something, and you don't mean anything of it. Okay.
You mean something of something and you don't mean anything of it.
Yes, you make something up, and you don't mean anything of it, and you don't even remember it for the longest time.
This is
Okay.
just turned into a podcast.
Yes, it has. Now, let's say a year goes by, and then then something happens, and you remember what you said before, and you're like, "Holy crap! I caused this."
But that's not foreshadowing.
Yeah,
that's getting fucking lucky.
That turns into something else. That means you're just building on something that you came up with earlier that you were not intending to use in the way that you're using.
Yeah,
it
that's
now.
that's what I said with Red vs. Blue. In Red vs. Blue season 10, they made it a point that this woman named Text had disappeared and or died. She was literally dead the whole time. Bernie Burns came out and said, "Did we plan these past 10 years from episode 10 to episode 110? No, I didn't. That doesn't make it foreshadowing. That means I got fucking lucky. That's it."
Then it's lucky. Then that guy's lucky, but it doesn't mean you can't call it foreshadowing.
But that's literally the example that you just used.
Look, take that instance right now without knowing the authors or their intent. You read it, and you guys just admitted to it by reading it yourself.
What? Say it again.
Okay.
What did he say?
Let's say right now, without knowing anything about the authors, without knowing their intent or what they wanted to do with it, or that they didn't plan anything at all, and you watched the full thing of Red vs. Blue or something like that.
Which I have. Oh, episode 1 comes out today. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Need to watch that.
Then, while you're watching it, you look back at stuff, it's like, oh, they were foreshadowing stuff, even though they weren't.
Can I just go fuck her in the leg?
That means that it wasn't their intent, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Bitch, I see you.
Doesn't mean that it was...
that's
yes,
bitch.
they were basically lucky, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't foreshadowing.
That actually does mean it wasn't foreshadowing.
That's exactly what that means.
In the plainest of terms, yes, it has to be planned. But does everything have to be planned for it to be foreshadowing? No, it doesn't.
What
Foreshadowing
did you mean by
doesn't...
what you just said?
Look,
yes, it has to be planned.
Was World War II planned?
You literally...
But that has nothing to do with foreshadowing.
This is just the word foreshadowing. I'm not talking about, the literary device, because this has to do with both. It has to do with both.
No,
because they're both...
it doesn't, because I'm pretty sure
you can't
they
cut
said
one out.
foreshadowing...
Okay, well, I'm going to go high and mighty over you guys and say, well, let's
You
just
didn't
say
even-
that history wasn't planned by... I don't know, God.
That's different.
Is it really? Did he not write everything down in a book?
Well,
yeah,
then-
but that was his plan. So
Then that's God's literary device that he used.
Yeah, that's God. You can't
But we
use that.
interpreted it as not.
No, we do.
Well, I thought you just did, though.
No. You said that...
You just fucked
guys
yourself.
You guys just said that real life is different from fiction. Because we made it
non-fiction.
up. Well, God made up history.
Yeah.
He was the one who planned it all, and we have to plan in order to make something, right?
Well, then...
It's the same sort of thing, so you
Well,
can't
I
say
mean-
that instance is different from this one. Forget that part. I'm using it for examples, okay? If you say, oh, they're not the same, they are the same. Okay? They are.
Well, the word... No, it's not, because foreshadowing in the context of talking about Franz Ferdinand's death that sparked World War I...
Or Great Alexander.
That's not a literary device.
Yes. Alexander the Great taking over 90% of the known world at the time. That's not a literary device. That's him just living out God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's not God foreshadowing anything. That's God doing God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we believe in God here.
Here. To show, indicate, or suggest in advance. Suggest. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So that means it doesn't always work out the way that the person who wrote it plans.
Okay, but you haven't given us an example where that actually happened. I'm not saying it has to happen to a T. That's why I said with Naruto, it's foreshadowing that they'll die. You don't know anything. You don't know when they die, how they die, or even if they do die. For all you know is that they will die. What if they don't? Then that's you're looking at the definition of foreshadow.
Yes.
But
I just said to show, indicate, suggest in advance. Because I can't just say, oh, I know everything about the word.
Why are you fighting?
I get what it doesn't move. It looks like it's stuck to the ground. Why? Who sticks a clock to the ground?
But foreshadowing is not limited to just one person who created it. To say that they planned it. Other people can look at it and say that it was
in the definition as a literary device, yes, it is.
Can I push it? I can't push it that way. That's fucking
In the
stupid.
context of it being used as a literary device, yes.
I'm glad it's quiet now.
But then to say that, oh, I just so happen to use something and I am using it
That's
because
not
I
foreshadowing.
decided to use it later on.
That's not foreshadowing. That's deciding to use it again. That's not foreshadowing.
You have to have something in mind for the future, and you hint towards it.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not completely fleshed out,
I'm getting
but
better
you
with
have
this.
to have an idea of what you're going to do, and you have to...